So my heart broke today, not because it's something that happened to me directly, but because I realized how many of us over 40, over 50, Gen X, are breaking in silence. So many women are silently breaking every single day. And we're doing this all the while, keeping our families together, making everybody smile, you know, seeing this world burn in flames while operating on pure exhaustion. I myself have been going through this, seeing everything happening around me while trying to keep my little family happy, trying to keep a smile on my face while personally going through hell. And I thought I was the only one going through this. And when it all gets too heavy and people are looking for answers, you know where they turn to? You know where I found out they turn to? They're not turning to a friend, okay, because everybody think we supposed to be the strong ones. We're not turning to family because majority of the time they the ones causing the most upheaval in our lives. No, everybody's turning to an app. While just doing some research for my channel, I went to ChatGPT, and these were the questions that were being asked by women around the world. And literally, you guys, my jaw fell to the floor. The reason why my heart broke so bad was because I saw myself in those questions as being asked. Like, who am I now? Who am I since I had kids? Who am I since I got married? And, the biggest question to all of us, like, what's our purpose? What's my purpose? And, is it too late to start all over again? Because, we see so many young people on social media starting their lives, just hitting the ground running. And a lot of us that have worked jobs and like worked till, I would toot to the bone, like they say. And also just, being there for everybody and doing everything for everyone because that's what we were told to do. Go to school, get a good career, get a job. And we did all those things. We checked all the balances, we checked everything off our list, but realized that the list was built for other people. It wasn't built for us. So today we're going to have that conversation. Okay. Not as victims, but as survivors trying to move on to the next level in our lives. And we're definitely going to start this series off right, talking about running on empty.
Perhaps you just got the green light.
I come to give you guys a little common sense advice when it comes to things happening in the world, in pop culture, and in these industries, and even in your own home. So if that interests you, definitely hit that subscribe button, like this video, and let's get into how are we running on empty. So I've been asking myself this question for like the last 2 years, really since my career ended. I worked in the field of healthcare for over 20 some years, and it ended abruptly. And it kind of peeled back the layers of my life and how I've been running so hard to the point now I'm burnt out. Okay. It's almost like leaving a candle burning and it get down to the little itty bitty bitty. And I mean, it could be the best smelling candle in the world, but it get down to the little itty bitty bitty wick that every time you try to go light it, it just burn out, right? Because it's at its end. It's at the end of the rope. Like I didn't realize how much I was running on autopilot throughout those years. And it took God literally stepping in and saying, girl, sit down somewhere. Okay. You're doing the most, you're doing too much. And I had to sit back and sit with this and say, okay, why have I been running this way? Where is my help? A lot of people say, my help coming from the Lord. Well, the Lord came to help me and make me understand what in the heck has been going on with my life, because I have literally been running on autopilot. And I felt like 6 years ago when I moved to Las Vegas that this will be the beginning of, new season in my life and an opportunity for me to step away from the mundane in Houston, Texas, and start something new with me and my family here, start a new life together as the three of us. And then I slowly have seen that life creeping back in. And something about burnout is sneaky. Okay. It sneaks up on you, child. And when you least expect it, it's going to God smack you in the face. Okay. And that's pretty much what happened to me. So when I started to go on ChatGPT and just do some research for my channel because I'm like, I'm not the only one going through this. Like, so I didn't realize how many women were turning to this app for help, just suffering in silence and not really saying much. And, being a strong friend comes with a lot of baggage, okay? A lot of baggage. And I feel like, I've had interactions with women as friends, and actually just recently I met somebody here in Las Vegas who told me she's looking for companionship, which I've never heard that from a woman ever in life. Not just saying, oh, I'm looking for new friends, because that's like the trend right now on TikTok, right? Oh, I live in Las Vegas and I can't find any friends. Child, not everybody is meant to be a friend. So you don't need to put a Batman call out to the universe for a friendship, right? But I recently went to an event with one of my friends, and this young lady had came up to me and introduced herself, and she was like, can we exchange, information, because I would like to know you, because it's very difficult to find Black women here in Las Vegas to, make friends. And then once we sat down, we had coffee. She said, you know what? I'm really exhausted on just finding friends. I'm really looking for companionship. Now, I already have somebody I confide in that's my confidant of like 20 something years. She knows me almost, I would say, if not better than my husband. But to hear somebody in this day and age ask for companionship basically shows the temperature of the room. It shows the temperature of what we as women are going through, that we're seeking and wanting something deeper of an experience with individuals. I think when it comes to burnout, I think we were told we could have it all, but we wasn't told how to go about doing it, right? We were told we could have it all, but we wasn't given a playbook on how to go about getting it. And I think once we achieved it all without a playbook, I think a lot of us, never learned how to have it all, but not feel the guilt. And I feel that's why a lot of us are dealing with burnout, because we feel like, oh, because we made it, everybody else has to make it. And it means us taking everybody along with us. And in actuality, it doesn't have to be that way. I think that's the thing that even in our culture, in the Black culture, I see them all the time talk about, oh, I see right now with Dame Dash, prime example. Oh, Jay-Z made it out, that mindset of like, he made it out, but he's supposed to help me because I'm over here struggling. No, it is your goal to, or not even your goal, your job to make it out yourself. Jay-Z is not your savior. Okay. And I see that a lot in our culture, that we feel like the people we started with, if they're surpassing us, then they're supposed to like drag us along while we do whatever the heck it is we want to do with our time, with our money. And let me just say those individuals do whatever they want with their time, their money, their resources. But then those of us that have quote unquote made it or have it all is expected to give back and help out. And I feel right now it is time out. Okay. We have to look at the cup as half full or half empty. And I'm looking at mine as half empty, and I need to fill it back up, because I am literally running on empty at this time. So empty to helping family, helping friends. And when it's your time to be in need, you can't find those individuals. The most they could give you is prayer. And although prayer is wonderful, I could pray for myself. Who said that? Like, no, for real. I could pray for myself. A lot of people feel that because they pray for you, they're entitled to something. Like if you get this blessing, they're entitled to a part of that because they pray for you. And prayer comes without exchange. You pray for someone just like you love someone without, and somebody, that's the Lord messaging me, without wanting anything in return. And I think a lot of people get that misconstrued and messed up and mixed up. And I think that's why during this time of recentering myself and going back to the fountain to fill myself back up, to realize that I don't even need to be around people for them to even offer that much up, to the point they feel like entitled to whatever success or whatever blessings God have around the corner for me. And let's be real about it. Burnout is not just being tired. Burnout is being completely depleted of resources. Resources being your time, your money, your energy, your vibe, okay? Because some people like you to just come to events to give the vibe, like, oh, April's the vibe. April comes and lights up the room. Yeah, I do, but that take energy, okay? But what we have to realize is that we're pouring out from ourselves from a cup that was cracked almost 2 years ago, 3 years ago, for some people 6 years ago. And we have to, like, I remember when I was younger, my grandmother, if she would crack a cup, she wouldn't throw it away. She would get like, I don't know if it was like Gorilla Glue or what it was back then. I don't think it was Gorilla Glue back then, but whatever it was, it used to come in a yellow tube and or a yellow bottle. And she would use that to fix whatever crack she had in the cup and put that cup right back on the shelf. And I feel like a lot of us has been operating like that. We don't throw the cup out. We don't go get a new cup. We just keep pouring from the same cracked cup, just mending it and mending it. You get in a fight with your siblings, you sweep it under the rug, you mend it. You get into a situation at the job, instead of going back to school and getting a better education, we just keep mending it. We just keep saying, Lord, it's going to get better. Lord, it's going to get better. And then you get to this point of being burnt out or just absolutely depleted. And now you crying, oh, I just can't take it no more. Then you're having a whole mental breakdown and a whole situation when this has been in the making for over 3-4 years, and you just have been like tossing it to the back of your mind. A lot of times, like in this space that I'm in right now, in all transparency and honesty, I haven't been talking to my family, not because I don't want to talk to them, because they stopped talking to me. It was just like overnight, they just stopped talking to me, stopped calling me. And I was like, oh, okay. And then my birthday came, no happy birthday. Mother's Day came, no Mother's Day. And then just recently, one of them had a birthday, and I was like, why should I? Why should I be saying happy birthday when I've done nothing to you? And I feel like that's what happens with those cracks. We fill them up by being the bigger person, by showing up, despite disrespect. And the cup just keeps getting mended and mended and mended until it completely cracks completely. And you sitting there in a straitjacket while they going on with their life. We have to understand that rest is not a reward. Rest is a right. I have a right to remain silent. Okay? Let me say it again. I have a right to remain silent, meaning I can stay quiet. It's not being disrespectful. It's protecting my peace. It's giving my mind rest. A lot of times people think the only thing that matters in life is them. Isn't that crazy? The only thing that matters in life is them. And I have to build a new cup. I have to go to pottery class and make a new cup for myself. And I'm just speaking like, hypothetically, like I am the cup. My cup is cracked and I need to make a new one in order to fill myself. So that way I could pour into others, right? And so it takes time and it takes energy to do that. And it takes healing to do that. And for me, that's the space that I'm in. And I know a lot of you are running on burnout. A lot of you are taking care of your elderly parents. A lot of you, I speak to you guys on these types of things. Especially in this political climate, a lot of people are worried. They're scared. If they wanted to, they couldn't even leave because they have to take care of family here, or they got grown kids that can't do for themselves. We have to find spaces and places and pockets of opportunity for us to make a new cup, okay? To create a new normal for ourselves. And that's the goal I'm trying to reach. So I have a question to ask you guys. When was the last time you felt rested? Rested. Not sleep, not just taking a break, but rested. Leave it in the comment section down below. I want to know, because the last time I felt truly rested, not just getting sleep and waking up from a nap and be like, oh, I just had the best sleep of my life. I feel so rested. No, that's not rest. The last time I felt rested was literally for my 40th birthday. I remember going to Bora Bora, not being an influencer, paying for it myself, and saying, I'm going to disconnect. I've always been a person that when I go on vacations, I want to be like, let's say I go to Hawaii. I'm going to be on the island of Oahu. I always felt like going to Maui or going to the Big Island would be too slow for me. And I need to be in the know of it all, be in the space of it all. And Bora Bora was really rest time for me. It actually was the perfect storm of a rest period because right after I came back from Bora Bora, I said not even months later, I moved to Las Vegas. So I needed that time to regroup and to rest and to rebuild my cup in order to take this challenge on. Because trust me, moving here was definitely a challenge, right? So I felt rested. I felt disconnected. I didn't give not zero craps about what was going on back home. The sky could have been falling. I did not care. I was completely disconnected. And that's what I want for you guys. Even if it's an hour a day, go, somewhere, walk in the park. It doesn't have to be somewhere where you have to pay a lot of money. Just go walk in the park. It's now cool outside. And disconnect. Put that phone on Do Not Disturb. Don't go walk in the park listening to music or, listening to a podcast. Put the phone on Do Not Disturb. Don't go scrolling the internet, mindless scrolling, because you're going to see something that's going to trigger you. But there are times where I disconnect during the week and I at least get 1 hour rest, not to think about what's going on in the world, not to plan about my exit strategy, not to think about what physical therapy appointment I have next, or what is aching me on my body, or what my daughter ate for school today and what I need to pack up for lunch tomorrow. And the fall festival is next week and my husband has to go to work and me and him are on this Zepbound journey, and did he take his shot today? All these things be running through my mind. And so there are times throughout the week that I take an hour, or even sometimes, y'all, something as simple as getting on the highway and just riding to Los Angeles. Is a lot of people tell me, why you ride to Los Angeles and drive? Why you don't fly? Because it allows me to rest my brain. And some of us just need that. Sometimes you just need to get in the car, put the windows down, not turn on no music, or even there's a channel here on YouTube that I listen to. It's a vibration frequency for meditation and for abundance. I could put the link to that down below. I put that on and I ride. And the abundance just, starts to come in. So at the end of the day, you guys, we have to find those pockets of rest. Right now, we're living in uncharted times, right? So we have to find ways to find opportunities to get that rest that we need. The truth is, burnout doesn't mean you're broken, okay? Burnout just means you've been given for so long, pouring into other people without going to fill your cup. You need that time to fill into yourself, to pour into yourself. So this week, give yourself permission to pause. Okay? The world could wait. Your children could wait. Your husband could wait. Your job. I know y'all need your money, but y'all get what I'm saying. Take time to pause. Whatever that looks like for you, even if it's baking a cake or making yourself an ice cream sundae and go and sit on the porch, whatever that looks like for you, do it. It's imperative that you do that. And I want to know from you guys what helps you. For those of you that are on that journey and have started it, like, what do you do? What do you suggest to recharge once a week for yourself? It's so many things out there. You could use Groupon to go get a massage for a cheap and reasonable price. Trust me, here in Vegas, there's just one place I go to that is really inexpensive, but they do such a good job. And it's a really good place to recharge and disconnect for the week and just loosen up your body, right? Because we just hold so much tension from this. It's almost to the point of sickening and unhealthy. And we have to do that for ourselves because this world is crazy. You sit around here and be like, oh, well, I can't put things on hold. I can't put life on hold. I got responsibilities. I got things to do. That grave going to put you on hold. Run yourself into a grave if you want to. That grave is going to put you on permanent stop, pause, period. So you better figure it out, sis, and stop trying to be Superman and Batman to everybody and everything. because you can only run on this for so long. My goal of this series, Running on Empty, is just to share with you guys what I'm doing. I've been saying this for weeks. I really want to, I don't necessarily want to reinvent myself, because who reinvents the wheel? I mean, no shade, no tea, but April Butcher is pretty fabulous, honey. Okay? April Butcher is fabulous. All right? But I just need to figure out how to keep the wheel from falling off the tracks. That's what I'm trying to do. And I just want to share with you guys helpful tips on how to help you with that. Because, we could sit here and we could talk about politics all day. We could talk about celebrity gossip all day. But girl, what is that doing for you? Okay? Except giving you a little bit of escapism or allowing you to share your opinion on the situation. Common sense says no. Okay? We're not doing that over here. We trying to seek positive vibes and high vibration. Okay? But that's the whole point of this Running on Empty. Just sharing with you guys, because it can be draining. A lot of the people I follow and I watch on YouTube are young. They're in their 20s, living their best damn life. Well, I want to live my best damn life too. All right? And I hope y'all could join me on this journey so y'all can live y'all's too. As your mother on social, I just want to remind y'all, common sense starts with you taking care of yourself first. So let's take care of self and worry about yourself, okay? Instead of worrying about everybody else. With that being said, you guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Definitely subscribe and turn your post notifications on for the next video that's going to be coming in this series. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was something that I could help you guys with today. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you're struggling with in life, so that way I could see if there's videos that I could give my insight on or my common sense to. And I love you guys so much enough, I'll tell you the truth. Okay? Love you. See you in the next broadcast. Bye.